It's a big honor for us to have the Chief Rabbi of the Army, Rav Rafi Peretz. It's the first time as the Army, as the Chief Rabbi, was very famous in the Air Force. He was a helicopter pilot, a fighter. The most special about him is he extremely humble, more humble from humble, and his effect on the Israeli kids between 1 and 10 is 15. I will say the same thing. I will tell you a story what happened yesterday. הרב רפי, תקשיב.
אני לא מבין אנגלית.
אז אני אגיד קצת בעברית. Yesterday one of the parents of 2 boys would study by us and went to MIT. He did a Siyum Masechet in my house after Vatikin. And I said to him, Chaim, give a speech. And he said the word Kedushat Eretz Yisrael. Kedusha Rishona, Kedusha Shniya. And I asked him, I said, Chaim, say in English. The boys don't understand what this means, Kedusha at all. In Kedushat Eretz Yisrael, they never heard. In Kedushat Medinat Yisrael, for sure, they never heard. You cannot separate Eretz Yisrael from Medinat Yisrael. And one of the boys said, I never heard the word in Hebrew, in English, but I think so. A little I know about this. I think so personally. Doesn't bother me as people live in America. Bother me the most as in America, in the Orthodox society, in the modern Orthodox society, in your society, the word Kedusha doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. The word of Tzniut doesn't exist. They took the pages out of Shulchan Aruch, Tzniut, and also the same thing of Kedusha doesn't exist. And out Israel, the losers live in Israel. You're the losers, we are not the losers. And I'm not here for Aliyah approach. I'm here, the concept of Eretz Israel. The concept, as you without the Jewish state, you be dead. The Holocaust will happen again. And you don't believe in the word what I'm saying. Sound to you crazy. Now, another thing that I want to give a lot of credits to Rav Rafi. The same thing with this crisis in the education in America, in the Orthodox, modern Orthodox, also in the ultra-Orthodox, without to discuss it now. 20 years ago, I would say, was a big crisis in Eretz Israel. Many kids would finish Yeshiva's high school, the Akiva system, similar to this. They didn't feel prepared to go to the army from the religious point of view. And Rav Rafi was asked today, before he went to the army, now he took a little time off. Yesterday, the best yeshiva preparation for the army, Mechinat Kdam Tzvai, preparation to the army, yeshiva preparation to the army. There's over few hundred students, just the first year, over 100 students, and they prepare them. Excuse me, I'm talking here like this, and I'm not here to kiss up to him. Better from the yeshiva Sester, much better from the yeshiva Sester. Because for some reason, I'm not here to say why. Yeshiva guys in Israel in high school, they're not ready for life, they're not ready for religion, they're not ready for nothing. The world today, with all the stupid iPhone, destroyed the world. The world developed a lot, but this iPhone, and I'm not against iPhone, I'm not against all the movies, but this iPhone destroy you, mentally destroy. There's a lot of research about this. I'm not the first one. Look in Time magazine, Erev Shavuos, what he wrote about this. This Time magazine is more Chumash, the Havdil from the Chumash. Time magazine. And they're so great. How do you know they're so great? As they hate Israel and they hate the Jewish state, and you, including my wife, still read Time magazine, still support them. And I pay for this. Okay, as I said a little too much. Listen to Rav Rafi Peretz. Maybe something will go into your mind. Maybe something. Maybe you connect to Eretz Israel, to the Jewish state, to the Torah, and you cannot separate. You cannot separate them. Will be a little stronger. בבקשה. אני רק אישה שם יותר נוח לי. לשבת עם הצרות שלי. אני לא בורח.
אתה יכול ללכת, זה בסדר. שלום לכולם. ברשות ידידי ורעי הרב בינה, ראש הישיבה, הרב אהרון בינה. תמיד אני עושה את הטעות הזאת.
תזכיר שלמדת בנתיב מאיר, תזכיר מי ראש הישיבה הגדול, האגדי. תגיד איפה הרב בינה?
אני אגיד, אני זוכר אותו צעיר, את הרב בינה נער, אני אזכיר בדיוק. Every time that I'm coming here, I'm very, very excited to see this Bet Midrash full of Bachurim studying Torah, up, down.
Don't hear me.
שומע? When I say it in Hebrew, you didn't understand. So for me here, I know that place when it was very empty, nobody, just walls, and nothing was in it. And the decision to open here a yeshiva very close to Bet Kodesh HaKodashim שלנו. This is one of maybe the clever idea that I've ever thought about, to have here a yeshiva and to see you. And I'm here every week. I come here. I opened as the chief rabbi of the Israeli army. I opened here a new lishka in Oel Yitzchak, in the synagogue down here. So every Sunday I'm here. And I see you, and I'm coming here, and you don't see me. It means that you study Torah, and that's the best thing. I'm here to speak about two very, very famous Rabbonim. The first is the Rav Rafi Peretz, Zecher Tzadik Livrocha, and the second is the Rav Ovadia Yosef, Zecher Tzadik Livrocha. First of all, I'll start, before I speak about those Rabbonim, I will start with something which is very connected to Parshat Shavua, Chayei Sarah. On the last 15 years, every Shabbat Chayei Sarah, I spend the Chayei Sarah next to Avraham Avinu in Me'arat HaMachpelah, and I was there also yesterday. And you know, there are three places that Umot HaOlam, all the Goyim, can't say anything about it in Israel. It's Me'arat HaMachpelah in Hebron, it's Har HaBayit, and it's Kever Yosef. Three places that we bought them with a full cash money. Abraham, David HaMelech, and Yaakov, Avinu, and Yosef. But the life is not so easy. I want to start on the point. The first place that the first Jew in the world, Avraham Avinu, buy and make a kinyan over there. I saw here about Metzia, and make a kinyan over there. It's Hebron. Now Hebron was stones and hills and nothing but that thing. And he decided to go over there. It's not like that very nice yeshiva. It's like the places where Rav Rafi Peretz went when he started places, and I will speak about it later. And I went to Hebron. He was living in Beersheba, which is 50 kilometers down of Hebron, south of Hebron. He goes to a place, and the first thing that he buys is a graveyard. Come on, you're the first Jew in the world. Buy a place like Arabai, buy a place like gardens, something, trashim and stones. But I'm telling that to all of you. I'm sure that you went to the south, you traveled around Israel, and you saw what happened in that country when we came. We changed all the situation in this country because the Israeli nation came and stayed here in Israel. Abraham says, to live in Israel, it's not because of money, not because of food, better food, not because of you have a real estate. You went to the place where you don't have anything. And then he said, we start our build in Israel, because Israel, the main thing of this country, is when the nation comes and stay on that Eretz Hashem. And then Eretz Hashem gives fruit, gives money, gives real estate, gives everything, but it's not starting with it. And this is Me'arat HaMachpelah. And the Midrash says that when Abraham, Ve'el HaBakar Ratz Avraham, when he saw the three saints coming Kechom Hayom, when he was in Brit Milah, he says he went El HaBakar to find a good cow for three of them, not one. So the Midrash says that he ran after the cow, and he came to the Me'arat HaMachpelah, and he saw Adam and Chava sleeping over there with a candle next to their head, and that was the place where he bought. But the thing that made Me'arat HaMachpelah to be a place, 20,000 Jews were in this Shabbos, that was not a graveyard, that was a place of life, as you see here a lot in the Rachava of the Kotel, a place that you see all the nation living over there, breathing over there. And it goes because of the chesed of Abraham. What I want to tell you, that's the first thing, is that that to be here in Israel, it's not going to places that are built good, nice to be there. Every place. And I live in a place like that. I was in Gush Katif, I was living, and then the evacuation went out, and we moved all over around Israel for 6 years. And then we decided to build our new house, a new Yeshiva in Cholot Chalutza. This is 200 meters from the Egyptian border. Very, very far in the south. Over there was just sand. And we decided to be there. And I invite all of you. Baron, I suggest you to do it. I invite all of you to see what we have over there. We made now it's a green area for 40,000 dunam. It's I don't know in acres how much is it. 40,000 dunam over there. 3 new Yeshuvim, 250 families. This country loves the nation that comes with Mesirut Nefesh. Now you here, and I know it, each one of you has family. Each one of you, not each one of you, his family sent him to Israel and say, go. For sure not for the second year. You have to have Mesirut Nefesh. To study Torah, it's not easy. Gemara, it's not easy. Even though you have here, I know Baron and I know how we can have all of you together, but you need Mesirut Nefesh. Now with that Mesirut Nefesh, we built the country. You had it on the first year. Half of you, at least, from the first, continue to the second, and continue. Stay here, build your house here, build your family here. With Mesirut Nefesh, we will beat everybody. That's the only way. Mesirut Nefesh is the only way. That's what Abraham teaches us. A place was nothing over there can be a garden because of the Mesirut Nefesh. And I'm starting with Rav Aryeh Bina. I was a student in Netiv Meir. That was 44 years ago. And Rav Aryeh Bina was my Rosh Yeshiva it's a high school yeshiva. And I must tell you that it was not easy for me it's not even now easy for me to speak about him. That's how I felt to him all those years. He was my Rosh Yeshiva, but he was very high, very holy, a lot of things. But he was very simple. He and his wife, with the clothes, the house was very simple. And he spoke when he gave us. I was the teacher. I was in his study. He was my rabbi in one of the classes. And his shiurim in Gemara was very tough, and it was not easy to understand. You had to have your head on your shoulders. But when he spoke to you as a person, he spoke simply. Do what you think with honest, with truth. As the Kadosh Baruch Hu says to Abraham, Ki da'ativ, this is a pasuk, Ki da'ativ, למען אשר יצווה את בניו ובני ביתו אחריו, ושמרו דרך השם לעשות צדקה ומשפט. That was the root. Whatever you do, with tzedakah and mishpat, with derech eretz, and do it for your nation. Whatever you do it for your nation. Now we, from Netiv Meir on those years, a lot of people went to all over, Rashi Yeshivot, in the academics, in the factories, a lot of them all over. And if we'll put them all together, and we will ask them, who told you to be that, to be Talmid Chacham, to be Rosh Yeshiva, to be investor, to be whatever. They all will say, Rav Aryeh Bina. His history, I'm sure that you spoke about it. His history of Rav Aryeh Bina, I met, 44 years ago, even Rav Aaron was youngster. And 44 years ago, I remember he was Avrech. I remember him. And we were in relation. And it's 44 years that we know each other. And I saw, and what I see now, this yeshiva, I see that simple, that Derech Eretz, Torah, and I see all of those things together, and Mesirut Nefesh. Those are the roots. That's what I got from Rav Aryeh Bina. His history. He was a prison when he was in the army, and he was in Kfar HaRo'eh, and he went from Kfar HaRo'eh, Mesirut Nefesh, with some students, and he opened the Tiv Meir. And then, in our term, he opened my friends from my class. They opened the yeshiva in Chispin, the Yeshivat HaEsder. And then they went to, that was the war, the October War, and they passed the Te'ala, and they went to Faid. He was there also. And then back to Ma'ale Edomim. And it's impossible that one person will do all of this. The only way to do it is to know that you are Shaliach. It's not you. You are Shaliach of that term, of that time of Geulah of Israel. And if you are Shaliach, Kadosh Baruch Hu gives the power, gives the spirit, gives the money, everything. So I can speak a lot, but about let's say a little bit about Rav Aryeh Bina, Zecher Tzadik Livracha. And now to Rav Ovadia. Rav Ovadia Yosef. You heard a lot of stories about it, but I'm telling you from my point of view as the chief rabbi of the army, that he helped the army a lot. Now, he can stay on the side and say, don't put me on that situation. Let me do my things. I don't want to, but he did say so. We had problems. In the October War, in the Yom Kippur War, we had problems, 2,700 soldiers were killed. Hundreds of them, we didn't know where they are. Part of them burned, part of them were under the sand. We have now, not today, but even now, we have groups that going to Sinai, going to Egypt, and try to find unknown soldiers from 40 years ago. The only nation that looking for their sons so much back. Now there were, a lot of them were from a reserve, active reserve, and they were with families, and the women stayed not here, not there. I don't know if you say agunot. Word in Hebrew, yeah? Agunot, it means you can't marry, You're not divorced, you can't marry, you're not a widow. It's in between. One after the other. You have to have bedding. We have it when we had the occasion with the helicopter in Romania that entered the Carpats mountains in Romania. We had that situation, and over there was a Rav Amar with bedding that said that they had the situation, and he gave us psak halacha that that they can marry again. Now we had that, they are widows. Now we had that situation with a lot of women, one after one. He sat and decided to give them the permission to build another house, to remarry. I'm telling you, it's very hard. And the other thing that for me, even on that thing which I'll tell you now, just on that thing, all העולם הבא שלו, he has. We had the army, we made in the army, even though it's not my main job, but because it's a student, because that we have a lot of non-Jews in the army, and a lot of them want to be part of the nation, and they want to be Jews. The army decided to open a way to convert to be Jews. Till now we made maybe 7,000 passed through the army, and they are Jews. But about 2.5 years ago, that was on my term, we had 5,500 that were converted also, and they are Jews. And then that was a question in the Senate, in the judge, in the Purim judge, and all of them got a סימן שאלה. What's that? סימן שאלה. No, they moved. They were also Jews. 34 mitzvot says ואהבת את הגר, לא תונו את הגר, כי גר היית, not bother him. And they, after they are Jews, they had a big סימן שאלה around their neck. I went to the Rav Ovadia, and I told him it's impossible. Look what we are doing. He looked and he said, it's okay, you are doing a good job. I said, if you will write a letter, you will save them. If not, they'll be third class for all over their life. So he took a paper and he wrote on the paper all the converts, all the gerim that were converted in the army, ksherim to be part of the Israeli nation. I'm telling you, you need shoulders from a wall to wall to do it against all the spirit that was there against them. And I can say I was on his house a lot. Every time that I came, he asked about the army. He blessed the army. מי שברך לכל חיילי צה"ל. He loves the nation and he loves the army. Okay. I just wanted to tell you those stories about those two big Rabbonim that I knew personally, both of them. And our mission is to continue, tzaddikim af bemotam kruim. I'm finishing in a minute. Tzaddikim af bemotam kruim chaim. And reshaim, the opposite. Tzaddikim, even they died, they're still alive. David melech Israel chai v'kayam. Jacob Avinu me'olam lo met. What's the meaning of it? Parashat Chayei Sarah, the paragraph that speaks about the death of Sarah, the name of it is Chayei Sarah. Because tzaddikim, their life continue. How? You continue it. We continue the life of the tzaddikim, so they continue to live. Continue with Torah. Continue with Derech Eretz. Continue with loving the country. Continue with loving the nation. Continue with Mesirut Nefesh. Continue with Ahavat Israel. And he will continue all the tzaddikim, and especially, as I told you about Rav Aryeh and Rav Ovadia. Thank you very much and have a good day and continue to study.